Hi, it's Andy again, Il Vecchio. In my previous trailer build video, I checked the delivered trailer kit to ensure all the major parts were there. Now, to prepare for assembling the trailer, I wanted to check that all the nuts and bolts are there. I read through the instructions several times, then organized the hardware into Ziploc bags for each step. It turns out that there are differences between the parts listed in the manual and the parts actually contained in the kit. The parts list and instructions say there should be 12 M10 by 30 bolts, but actually there are only 2, the other 10 being 5mm shorter. I'm expecting that these parts may be right and the 25mm bolts will work in most places, with only 2 needing to be the slightly longer bolts. I put the 2 30mm bolts into their own "when 30 means 30" baggie, and I'll use those only when the 25s are actually too short. A more serious matter was the shackle bolts that hold the leaf springs in place. The manual says these are M14 by 80 drilled bolts with hex nut and cotter pin. But instead of these, the kit contained M12 by 80 bolts with lock nuts. You can see there's a lot of slop between the bolt and its bushing, and there isn't any sleeve or anything to fix this. I called Northern Tools Support Center, and they were friendly and helpful, finally locating a note in the parts department saying the factory no longer uses the M14 by 80 with cotter pin, but instead supplies an M14 by 80 with lock nut. Well, what's actually supplied is a 12mm bolt, not a 14, but the guy said that's probably what they meant when they wrote the note. He told me to go ahead and use what's there, and if there are any problems, give them a call. Fortunately, there's an amazing fastener shop called Bolin Equipment in West Berkeley, so I'm going to go see if they have something that fits. And I'm ready to start building the trailer. I have all the parts, and I have the improved shackle bolts that I got from Bolin this morning. I'm going to start with just step 1. I've also separated out and labeled the 4 frame side members ahead of time. Now we'll see how long it takes to build this first section. Step 1. So it took just under 25 minutes to build that part of it, including a couple of mistakes and learnings. So it should just be a few more hours to build the rest of the trailer. Stay tuned for next time and we'll see.